I finally have enough experience and trigger time behind this firearm to do a proper review for you. So today I'm going to do a review of my Smith & Wesson 460 XVR. XVR stands for Extreme Velocity Revolver, and there's a reason for this. This X-frame Smith & Wesson revolver came out in 2005, and at the time, for any production model handgun in the world, nothing compared to the velocity coming out of this revolver. This revolver usually shoots around 2,300 feet per second with 200 grain loads, and in 2005, that was practically unheard of. It had the highest velocity shooting capabilities out of any single or double action revolver in the world. Lately, there's been a lot of companies trying to chamber rifle calibers into handguns for hunting, but the problem with that is those rifle calibers were designed to be shot out of longer barrels. So when you shoot them out of something shorter like this revolver or a single shot handgun, you lose velocity because there isn't as much powder burn down the barrel. So a lot of times they'll shoot more dirty, they'll start to become inaccurate after many shots if they're not cleaned, and they'll start to drop a lot of it because they're not getting the full velocity that they want to get with those shorter barrels. I've really started to fall in love with the 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum caliber. It is one of my favorites on the market right now, which is just a beast. I've done a lot of handgun hunting lately, and what I've noticed with most handguns, doesn't matter the caliber, you start to see drop about 125 yards in, even if it's just a few inches. And at longer ranges, when you shoot them, you kind of have to lob the shot and aim higher, because that's just how handguns usually roll. But this Smith & Wesson 460, when you shoot it, you don't really see drop at 200 yards. At about 250, I've seen 5 inches of drop with 200 grain FDXs by Hornady, because that's what I primarily shoot besides reloads. It's so flat shooting, it makes it fun to use. I'm going to bring it right up here to the camera so you guys can get a good look at it. All it basically is an extended 454 Casull, which is basically an extended 45 long Colt. It's a very capable caliber. You can see how big it is compared to my fingers. And I have man-beast hands. One of the biggest benefits or detriments, depending how you look at it, is the weight of this firearm. Just the firearm itself. No rings, no scope, no base. Just stock revolver. Weighs 73 ounces. And to most people, that's a little excessive. That's a lot of weight to hold up when your arms are extending trying to take a long shot. Especially if you have no shooting sticks or anything like that, or no support. But it does help with recoil. Let me tell you, shooting this compared to a Smith & Wesson 500 is night and day. This one right here I kind of equate to shooting lower to mid-range 44 Magnum, powered loads. Shooting a Smith & Wesson 500 will really beat you up, and it's also an X-frame like this. But just that weight behind it makes it so much smoother shooting, and it really makes it fun to shoot, because you're not really concentrating on the recoil, and you definitely don't flinch because of it. Let me give you some more specs and details about this gun before I go any farther. This is a 5-shot revolver, so I believe it's legal in just about any state that allows handgun hunting because of the only 5 shots. It uses a hoe grip, which is comfortable just like any other hoe grip, especially when you're shooting heavy power loads. At most revolvers, it just does great. I know a lot of you will ask what scope I'm running on it. It's a Leupold 2.5 to 8x by 36mm scope, and it does well for hunting. I have 4 steel rings on it and a steel base. Most of the time stock, this does come with adjustable rear sights, but I took those off because of the mount. And this one came with a high-vis front sight. They do come with 2 different compensators, one for lead and one for jacketed ammo. The one on it now is for lead. The trigger pull on it is great. I had a buddy measure it for me. On double action, it's very smooth, so you have no catches. Nothing that kind of makes your trigger tweak at all. It's about 9 pounds on the double action. When it's on single action, it's about a little over 3 pounds, which is great. That's where I like my triggers when I go shooting. The diameter of the cylinder is 1.920 inches, and the length of it is 2.305 inches, and the barrel length is 8 3/8 inches. I think that covered most of it, if you guys are wondering. One thing I really love about this revolver is the caliber selection. You can shoot 3 different calibers out of it. You can shoot 45 long Colt, 454 Casull, or 460 Magnum, and it makes it very versatile. So depending on what you're doing or what you're hunting, you can get the right caliber or the right load for the job. If I'm hunting whitetail, I can go with the 45 long Colt. If I'm hunting a bear, I can go with the 460 Magnum. It just makes it really nice to have. I do have a few complaints about this firearm. One major, but all the rest very, very minor. The major one has to do with the different caliber selection when it comes to extracting. Because I've noticed, if you take your revolver and you open up the cylinder and you've just shot, if you try to extract like a 45 long Colt, sometimes the brass will get stuck underneath the extractor and it makes it hard to pull out and it becomes a pain. But with 460 Magnum ammo, you never have a problem. So I guess you can't complain too much. Another thing that I dislike about this firearm, although very minor, it mostly has to do with these little Sling swivel studs. I just don't like them. I think they take away from the look. I'm always worried when I use my nice holster that maybe I'll get a snag or something will happen and it'll slow me down when I'm going to draw. Even though that's never happened, and you know, it's kind of far-fetched that it would. It's just one of those things I think about. This is the holster I have for it. You get it through Smith & Wesson directly. It's made by DeSantis, and it's a very high-quality nylon holster. It has great retention. When you're walking with it or backpacking with it or going hunting with it, it hardly moves away from your body. It has a shoulder strap, but then it also has a loop here to go through your belt, so it sticks in close and you don't have to worry about snags when you're in the deep bush. I do like that it has a cover for the scope. This one was made to be used with the scope. And if you're in a hurry or you're expecting to see a deer here soon or something, you can slide that down and have it ready to go. And then you can also unsnap it so you can draw fast. It's just very nice. I give them like an A+ on that holster design. When you receive your firearm from Smith & Wesson, you do get a nice high quality case with it, but I do have some complaints about it. It has nothing to do with the quality of the case, just how you can use it. You can see if you keep your firearm stocked with iron sights, you can put your firearm right here. It has a nice little slot with no problems. But if you decide to put a scope on it, this just becomes like a shelf ornament, which it is for me right now. I keep it in a different case. But it does come with some literature. It comes with the Smith & Wesson keys. Right behind where the cylinder opening part is, there's a little spot for a key. I'll show you that towards the end of the video. It comes with the extra compensator. This one is for the jacketed, which I'll show you also. It comes with an extra hoe grip. And other than that, not too much else. Just like most Smith & Wesson firearms, they do come with locks now. They can actually lock your cylinder in place so you can't pull the trigger. I showed you the key earlier, but basically this spot right here, which I'm pointing with the key, you just turn it in there and lock it, and it can't be used. It's another safety device if you want to store it. I don't use it, but I know some people would like it. To change out the compensator, it's very easy. Right now I have the lead compensator in there. What they give you is an extra compensator and an Allen wrench. And what you do is stick your Allen wrench in this little slot down here, and you loosen it up. And after a second, it's loose. And this can just rotate, and all you do is release. Then I can take the other compensator. This one is for the jacketed ammo. Put it in sideways, turn it, and then I just take my Allen wrench and go the opposite direction with it till it's nice and tight. And now I've just changed up the compensator. This one will now work for jacketed ammo. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like loaded, because I know a lot of you guys will want to see that. And I know a lot of you safety stylies won't, but it's okay. I'll be safe. Anyway, I'm just going to open the cylinder here, pop that out to the side, and I only have 3 rounds handy, so that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to drop 3 in. And because this, just like any other Smith & Wesson revolver, rotates counterclockwise, what I'm going to do is put it on this empty chamber, like that, just to show you. I'm going to pull the hammer back. Don't get too scared. Now it's on an empty chamber as well. I can lower down the hammer with no problems. Show you what it looks like again. We had no problems again. And I'm going to eject the rounds. So I just have to turn it to the side and drop them out. I know I scared some of you, but it's okay. Just wanted to show you. I just want to say thank you for watching this knowledge-based review. I did shoot 300 and some rounds through this revolver, and I have shot a lot of Smith & Wesson revolvers extensively, because I've owned a lot of them and I love them. And I just want to say that many rounds gives you a pretty good knowledge base on it. So I wasn't talking through my butt cheeks at all, so I hope you guys appreciate it. Anyway, rate and comment. If you have any other questions, you can PM me. If you want to do a video response, I'll gladly approve it. And I'll talk to you guys later.